Hey, John.
Hey, Eric. Happy almost Christmas.
Happy holidays, yeah? Almost almost Christmas. Couple more days. We're recording a couple days early or a day early. Yeah, a day
So if I
early.
say Happy Christmas, do I get like half a Happy Holidays and like half a Merry Christmas?
Yeah, you get it
I
all.
don't know. It's like split the difference.
Yeah, it's all good.
Merry Holidays.
Merry, Merry holidays, happy Christmas.
That's probably a little more inclusive.
Uh,
Anyway, hey,
all good.
so uh, everything coming together in the Wheeler household for the festive season.
Yeah, my girls both made it home on
Awesome.
different days, landing at 5 p.m. So
Oh, welcome to traffic.
yeah, so basically it's a now a ploy, I think, to get me to go take them to dinner somewhere close to the airport so that we can wait till traffic dies down. Yeah, it's all good.
It's better
There.
to sit in a restaurant than in a traffic
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah. Nah, it was fine. It was fine. Um, and then so girls are home, so that's fun. Fun to see my girls. The other thing that my wife and I did this past week, so Portland downtown on the Willamette and Columbia Rivers does Christmas ships.
Oh,
So,
I,
like
I have seen photos, but I have never been.
so here's what we ended up doing. My wife got the brilliant idea of making a reservation at the old spaghetti factory, which is right on the river downtown.
Oh, okay.
And they were nice enough. We got a table right next to the window and were able to watch because it was stormy and rainy outside. We had brought umbrellas and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh,
We went with some friends. So
very
some friends of ours
smart.
came, and so the four of us sat at this table and watched the Christmas ships go by. I think they went by, came back, and then went by. It was over pretty quick, and there weren't a whole lot of them. I think it was due to weather.
Maybe three. Did you see three ships go
There were
sailing by
seven, but yes,
on Christmas
there
Day?
was a
On
minimum.
Christmas Day?
Well
Okay,
done.
never mind.
No, well
Never
done.
mind.
Well done. I got you. We saw three ships. Um, but yeah, it was something that's been on my wife's bucket list for a long time. So it was fun to be able to go actually see the ships and eat
From the comfort.
from the comfort inside, you know.
Very
Um,
nice.
but it was fun. But the other exciting thing, which I had not realized, the old spaghetti factory is just a couple blocks down the street from the ice facility
Oh,
that's very
okay.
popular and in the
I
news
gotta say,
for
I don't even
Portland
know
with
where either of them are, but
uh,
okay.
popular in the news because we're driving down to park and I see a bunch of Portland police uh, vehicles and a crowd of people. I'm like, what's happening outside the spaghetti factory? I didn't occur to me. And then we saw the people in the blow up costumes in the
Uh,
rain.
yeah,
We
yeah.
didn't see any frogs. That was disappointing. It's mostly the
Dinosaurs.
frogs. There was dinosaur and a Pikachu, a rainbow colored Pikachu. It looked like a rainbow colored dinosaur with scales of some sort. Basically, just having a grand time dancing back and forth in front of the facility,
Go
and
Portland.
it was so funny. Anyways, so that was a fantastic time because we didn't have to stand out in the rain. We didn't have to worry about when they were going to come and wait. And we just ate our food. And then they're like, hey, here they come. Stop eating, turn around, watch for 5 or 6 minutes. Hey, they're done.
All right.
Eat, finish eating. It was a lot of fun. So
That's awesome.
check one off the bucket list.
That's awesome.
And then less exciting, on a less exciting note, uh, a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I had ever told you, I power washed our walkway up to our door of our house. So
Okay. No, I didn't know that, but
it was, And since I had power washed it, the concrete had a different color than the entire rest of the driveway now.
Ah, you cleaned
And
a spot.
I cleaned a spot, which then ruined it for everything else. So I spent 3 hours today power washing the entire rest of my driveway. And I realized I need to do this more often because I think it would have been less than 3 hours had I
If
not
you hadn't had to go centimeter by centimeter.
pretty much. And then had to go over it a
I
second
put on the black
time.
nozzle. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. The spinner nozzle. So that was my excitement today for today. And then finally, based on my to cap off this evening, when you actually texted me earlier, if we were still on for tonight, we were at the mall doing our giving machine.
Oh, fun, fun.
So
Yeah.
I was very excited. I'm going to find out. So it's all digital now. So there's no receipt or anything, but they'll email you a receipt. And then you can take that receipt and use the companies that you donated to, go look up their tax ID numbers. And then through work, we can double. They have the company match. So you can,
very cool.
You can manually submit things. So I'm very excited to have work double my goat purchase for someone.
2 goats.
Yeah. Now there's 2 goats. So, and we got a bunch of other stuff. It was kind of a family favorite every year. So that was my
awesome.
week. That up to today, and then we'll see what the next week brings. What the rest of this week brings.
Fun. I've been just like erranding, trying to knock stuff off my list a little bit and getting a head start on some of my New Year's resolutions sort of stuff. But I did drive my son, my younger boy, up to Seattle on Sunday so that he could go skiing up in Whistler.
Oh, wow.
So
that's a ways past Seattle.
Yeah. It's like 7 hours from here. And he and a buddy were going to drive. They drove last year.
Okay.
To meet a friend up there. And
okay.
Who's basically staying. And so they kind of have a couch to crash on. And
that's nice.
They had a good time, and they hadn't, they went to school together, and they hadn't seen each other for a couple of years before that, blah, blah, blah. They had a grand time last year. So of course they're going to do it this year again.
Got it.
And then, so we drive up. And my wife's like, you should take my car so you don't have to like stop and charge. And I was like, I don't want to drive your car. I want to drive my car. I like my car. But I had to charge 3 times, which was a total pain.
Yeah.
It was a total pain, I gotta say.
Were there did you have to sit and wait to charge, or was it just, did you have to?
There were no lines.
Okay, that's what I mean.
It was pull up, plug in.
Pull up, plug in. So it was just your half hour, 45-minute wait you'd have to do.
I'm an impatient sort. But then the sort of funny thing was that I don't know. I'm not saying names or anything like that, but we get up there and his buddy's supposed to meet us just literally in a Target parking lot because there was a charger. I was like, "This is the charger we're going to go to, and I'll charge." And then I'll be there charging, and whenever they get there, that's great. And literally, they came like 5 minutes after it finished charging. Perfect.
Okay.
But we know the family, and we like them a ton. And the mother, it was good to see the mother, and
yep.
But she's like, I don't know how this schedule came about because friend has to go to a show in like another 45 minutes. The whole reason we're up in Seattle and that I had to drive him up was because they were already in Seattle for another family thing, which turns out to have been Sunday afternoon, early afternoon, at approximately the same time that I was expecting to kind of hand off a child or a no longer child to further things. And the young gentleman was like, well, I didn't figure I'd really have to do that and that we could just take off. And the mother was like, No, that's not how that works. Anyway, so I'm not sure if my son got
Uh,
tickets or he sat outside at a coffee shop. I actually haven't got the update on that, but I thought that was pretty funny. But
mm,
I was like, all right, anyway, tag, thanks for taking care of my son and have a
yeah.
good time. And then I went and saw my brother and his family for
Hmm.
a few hours before kind of heading back. But
Okay. The
yeah,
the most important
240 miles.
question.
It does not go 240 miles. It goes 180 miles is how far it
Uh,
goes.
okay.
Anyway, yes,
And is it? I'm gonna see your note here. Is it repaired?
it is. It is. I'm going to say it's partially repaired because it is now weeping instead of crying.
Okay.
If that's the way those adjectives, those,
So it's a.
I guess those would be Jaren's, go. Um,
Okay.
because no, and I've taken probably half a dozen pictures. The gentleman from the Ford dealer has not yet helped me schedule this because I told him that I have another car out of commission now, so I need a loaner. Um,
Mm,
so
they got to figure out the loaner
and it's
situation.
Christmas time,
Yeah.
and I like whatever. So I'm not in like a huge rush because like I
Right.
feel like it's documented and
Right.
but um, it's supposed to be really stormy tomorrow, so I'll probably go park my car in the barn. Um,
Okay.
so, but no, yeah, that sucks. So anyway, we'll see. I'm sure it'll get fixed at some point. I just have to be patient. All right, topics.
Uh, I see you threw something in follow up.
I did. I thought this might be a topic or my topic or one topic, but I was like, well, we just talked about them a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I guess, 6 shows ago because it was 414.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 420.
Nothing interesting about that number.
No, not at all. But this is about the flock, the cameras,
Right.
the there is
The surveillance cameras that can only
yeah,
be used by police
legitimate
and legitimate
entities.
organizations.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
this was another 404 media piece, which they're doing some really good reporting.
Yes, they are.
I'll be honest. I'm a Scrooge when it comes to paying for journalism. They might have to, or they might be earning my dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, um, so this is if they said how many, it says at least 60. Anyway, it starts.
Mm.
So the reporter standing on the corner in a crossroad in Bakersfield, California, looking
Okay.
up at a flock surveillance camera while he's on his phone seeing himself on the camera because
He's a
a
policeman
whole
and
bunch
has
of
legal
cameras
access.
were completely open, no password,
Oh.
no login,
Oh.
nothing, live streaming on the open internet. So
Okay.
there's a little like looping 2 second, 5 second
Right.
video that shows him or walking across the intersection and kind of waving at the camera halfway through the intersection.
Right.
Bunch of data in here, because of course these cameras have quite good resolution
Mm-hmm.
and you can see a lot. So they talked a little bit about like the things they could see, the including monitoring playgrounds with children, whether
Oh.
they're attended or not, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Says Flock, and now I'm quoting, Flock left live streams and administrator control panels for at least 60 of its AI-enabled Condor cameras around the country exposed to the open internet where anyone could watch them, download 30 days worth of video archives, change settings, see log files, and run diagnostics.
Mm.
Crazy. It says that it was first discovered by YouTuber and technologist Ben Jordan and shared with John Gainsek Gaines, who recently found numerous vulnerabilities in other Flock license plate readers. Anyway, so the other thing is that So I pulled two other things out of this article, I think. Oh, sorry. Back on how, like, one of the ways they discovered some of these was Showdown, open ports. Uh, so last year, Flock added, quote, AI features to these cameras. So they will automatically zoom in on people as they walk by. So if you are watching these cameras, you could see them zooming in on. It doesn't say how they choose who to zoom in on. Maybe anyone that walks by, or any, the prominent person. The one of the things it said is they could even see what one person was watching on their phone, because of the angle of the camera. But just, the cameras will do this. You can either zoom in manually if you're controlling the camera, or it'll do it automatically with their, AI. Here, I'm going to quote again. It says, the exposure highlights the fact that Flock is not just surveilling cars, it's surveilling people, and in some cases doing so in an insecure way. Condor cameras are part of Flock's ever-expanding quest to, quote, prevent crime, and are sometimes integrated with its license plate cameras, gunshot detection microphones, and automated camera drones. And then here's the last thing I pulled out. There's a lot more in the article, but Cooper Quentin, senior staff technologist at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, told me, the journalist, the behavior he saw in videos we shared with him, quote, shows that Flock's ambitions go far beyond license plate surveillance. They want to be a nationwide panopticon, watching everyone all the time. Flock's goal isn't to catch stolen cars. Their goal is to have total surveillance of everyone all the time. And do so insecurely, evidently. So,
okay.
Anyway, there's my follow-up. If that feels a little dystopian. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
I'm really interested in the notion. I think this was more in the Border Patrol article I brought a couple weeks ago about the unreasonable search aspect. Like what constitutes unreasonable? I'm aware of some other, situations where the law is gray. So courts have, in various rulings sort of set lines based on precedent that say, the law doesn't really specify, but, this meets the spirit of the law, blah, blah, blah. And, so long as you're above that, that there's at least court precedent. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds over the next few years.
Yeah.
So, there you go. That's follow-up.
Okay.
How
Topic?
about your topic?
So the one I saw was one of my favorite NPM packages that is, what do they call it? Supply chain attacks?
Yeah.
The difference with this one is it is an NPM package that is a fork of a totally legitimate NPM package for WhatsApp. Makes a WhatsApp web API library very functional. It has 56,000 downloads, and the code actually works as advertised. So if you're a developer and someone says, oh, grab this package, you grab the package, you don't give it a second thought, it works great. This malicious package has been alive for 6 months. Yeah, you test as long as it isn't broken, and as long as it works what you're expecting, then you're good to go. So unlike most malicious NPM packages that are like typo squatting or they don't quite work, or they do something kind of funky, this one works just fine. And so, you're not going to look at code that works unless the code doesn't work. Then you look at the code, right?
Right.
So that
most people.
Yeah. So what actually happens is this developer, the malicious developer of this, does everything it's supposed to do on the legit line, but it sends all of your credentials, all of your messages, your connections, and everything you add to your WhatsApp account to a malicious actor in addition to doing what the developer actually asked it to do. So no one actually sat and looked at
They have to
the
do
network
like
traffic.
Wireshark.
Yeah,
Network
well, because it's
traffic
all
analysis or
fully
something like
encrypted
that.
too.
Of course.
So it's all encrypted. Um, and the really bad thing about this one is it's not so you are now a third party that is giving away your information if unbeknownst to you. So if you are using an app that has leveraged this one of the 56,000 downloads of this malicious
Mm-hmm.
app, and the app is doing what you want it to do, you as the end consumer are going to have even less of an inkling that something's wrong because it's
Of
doing
course.
exactly what you want. And your account information, all your backups, all your media, everything linked to your WhatsApp account can be accessed by the threat actor. They have full control. And so, even if you, as the user, then decide to go uninstall that app because someone says, hey, this
It's
app is
already
bad,
leaked. Can't unleak it.
you have to then also go in and unlink your WhatsApp account to all the other connections that it has been made. So you probably, if you do
Ooh.
this, and I look at mine occasionally, is just what are all the things that my Google accounts are linked to and what apps have
Yeah.
I given? And then I'll go and remove some of it that I'm like, oh, I no longer use that service. I no longer do this. And I'll remove them occasionally. But it's so dang convenient just to say, yeah, log in with Google and Google can see X, Y, and Z or hook this up. And it just makes it a lot easier. So,
I, I like totally. I'm curmudgeon-y.
uh huh.
I like almost never log in with Google or do any.
I
Use
used
Google as I
to.
am.
I used to not do that. I used to be a big curmudgeon as well. But more recently, I'm like, it's just so
There's so
much
many of them.
easier to just let Google own it. And in my one password, I basically have login as Google, and I will go check to see. And that's why I think I probably go check to see, all right,
Oh,
who's linked to it?
interesting.
What have I linked to it? And then when you set up the Google the first time, it'll tell you what permissions you're giving whatever the app is.
Sure.
But if I'm a third party and I never see that, I don't see that part. It's the threat actor that's accepting the fact and saying, I want full access to everything. You don't know that unless you go look at your things you've linked your app
Right.
to.
Right.
So,
How long? I'm going to merge two things. How long until there's some search engine optimization to get ChatGPT or Grok to create code that includes these sorts of libraries or includes libraries, and then you hijack those libraries and modify them after the fact.
I, I, I'm going to bet that's already happening. I don't think that's
Yeah.
a wait to see. It's a wait to discover.
Ah, all right. All right.
I know.
Oh, it's a
Crazy.
wild, 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 wild world.
So there you go.
Okay.
WhatsApp,
Okay, that's a good one. I
apps,
hadn't seen that. That's
check your
that's
links.
a nice find.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Ah, okay. um I thought this was cool because Microsoft is finally killing RC4 as a default protocol for Active Directory or for Kerberos
As
off.
default? It's been the default?
Uh, I'm sorry, no.
Oh,
Since Windows 2008, they have defaulted to SHA-1,
okay.
but by
Scared me there for a second.
default, when Active Directory will happily respond to RC4 requests. It is enabled
Oh.
by default,
Ah.
and you have to go in and
You have to go
disable
turn
it
it off, disable it.
deliberately.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay.
And evidently that breaks half the world. So I mean, this has
Of
been
course it is.
an ongoing thing for forever. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I don't know. So here's a quote. boy, there's a bunch of stuff in here. So Microsoft, here's quoting, Microsoft is killing off an obsolete and vulnerable encryption cipher that Windows has supported by default for 26 years, following more than a decade of devastating hacks that exploited it and recently faced blistering criticism from a prominent U.S. senator. What senator could that be?
Is he from Oregon, maybe?
Senior Wyden, absolutely. Yes. But so there's this next paragraph had something in it that I was just like, I'm kind of face palming. When the software maker rolled out Active Directory in 2000, oh my gosh, 2000.
Wow.
It made RC4 a sole means of securing the Windows component, which administrators use to configure and provision fellow administrator and user accounts inside large organizations. Blah, 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 RC4, short for Rivest Cipher 4, blah, blah, blah. Which was developed by Ron Rivest of the R in RSA in 1987. Here's a quote. Within days of the trade secret protected algorithm being leaked in 1994, a researcher demonstrated a cryptographic attack that significantly weakened the security it had been believed to provide.
So 1994 is a lot
94.
earlier than 2000.
Exactly, right? Like, this does not require complex reading or like
Math.
deep
It only requires
study.
1 digit.
94 is before 2000.
Okay.
But they still chose it, so 6 years later.
All right.
Also, so I actually got to this Ars Technica article that I'll put in here from Schneier on security. I had not read that paragraph that I just read a moment ago when I saw Schneier's summary, because he like, it's a link list or something like that where he has a link and a quote from a paragraph. But Schneier said, fun fact, RC4 was a trade secret until I published the algorithm in the second edition of Applied Cryptography in 1995. So the dates didn't quite work out there because that said 94 versus 95. But I'm like,
so it got leaked.
Schneier doxed them in Applied Cryptography, which is like the Bible of... in fact, I'm sure I have one on my bookshelf back here.
Same.
Anyway, okay, so like effectively, it was obsolete before it was released, is the net of that particular diatribe. I mean, RC4 has been and should have been gone decades ago. But it says one of the most visible holdouts in supporting RC4 has been Microsoft. Eventually, Microsoft upgraded Active Directory to support the much more secure AES encryption standard. But by default, this was your question, Windows servers have continued to respond to RC4-based authentication requests and return an RC4-based response. The RC4 fallback has been a favorite weakness hackers have exploited to compromise enterprise networks.
Surprise, surprise.
Use of RC4 played a key role in last year's breach of health giant Ascension. The breach caused life-threatening disruptions at 140 hospitals and put medical records of 5.6 million patients into the hands of the attackers. U.S. Senator Ron Wyden in September called on the FTC to investigate Microsoft for, quote, gross cybersecurity negligence, citing the continued default support for RC4. So, anyway, if you've heard the term Kerber roasting, it's this. So Microsoft responds and says, and Microsoft had a bunch more, like, there was a bunch of quotes in the Ars Technical article I didn't really pull out and bring here, but they said because they had a whole bunch of info about why they haven't done it till now, and they are releasing a bunch of tools to help administrators figure out if they've got this situation in their environment, which in my head, again, I was like, wait, you don't know that today? Anyway, don't go there. It says by mid-2026, we will be updating domain controller defaults for the Kerberos Key Distribution Center on Windows Server 2008 and later to only allow AES SHA-1 encryption. So that's default settings. If you have something in your environment that requires RC4, you still can go in and turn it on, but now it's hoist on your own petard, I guess. But
okay.
It says AES SHA-1, an algorithm widely believed to be secure, has been available in all supported Windows versions since the rollout of Windows Server 2008.
Okay.
It is 2025 for at least a couple more days.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, when you think that things are moving too slowly, sometimes you can look at portions of other large companies and go, interesting.
Yeah. I Windows Server 2008 is closer to 1994 than it is to 2025.
Yes, actually. Yeah, good math.
I'm
Well
math
played.
good. Yeah. Okay.
All right. How about something fun?
Okay, so my something fun, and I went to check to make sure I hadn't mentioned this one before. It's going to be short and sweet. It's the movie F1. So it was in theaters. It's an Apple original movie, and it was in theaters a couple months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Okay.
I saw it.
I've definitely not seen it.
Yeah, it is now available on Apple TV. So one of the many subscriptions you're paying for.
I am.
It is. I think it's a great movie. I added the link to the IMDb article in here.
Okay.
My wife and I watched it the other night, and it's just a good quality movie. Like Ford versus Ferrari, which I also really enjoyed.
I watched that. I think at your recommendation.
Yes, Ford versus Ferrari. It's kind of fits in that same vein, but it's all about F1 racing. And one of the things I liked about it was I did not realize how technical F1 racing actually is. Like how, and not technical in the driving, but in all the aerodynamics and the how they build the cars, and like it looks. I think it would be fun as a computer scientist to work on an F1 team. I think that would be a lot of fun. It was really cool.
Interesting. Okay.
So I recommend it.
Okay. I'm the worst. I actually had to go down and look at the actors because I'm like, I recognize that actor.
Brad Pitt.
It was Brad Pitt. I should totally know that name. I'm so bad. I might be the worst person in the world when it comes to these things.
You're like every actor's dream when they want to go on vacation to Disneyland or something. You'll walk right by oblivious to them, and everybody else will be like quietly, "Oh, what's going on? Isn't that so and so?" Like, who? What? No. All good, John.
Anyway, sorry. When I scrolled down and I saw his name, I was like, oh, I should have known that. Anyway, okay. All right. Well, you stole my idea for something fun.
I actually, because I went first, sorry, but I did see yours first. I thought, ooh, I'm going to put my movie in there too. So
No, it's good. So mine is, I assume you've seen this, Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes,
of course. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fantastic movie.
Okay. Yes. So I even think I mentioned on the podcast because we were down at Pal's Books like a couple months ago, and I think it might have been my something fun. I don't remember. Anyway, but one of the things that for some reason, my son and my wife were standing next to a shelf of books that had Howl's Moving Castle, the book, on it. And he was like, oh, the book is way better than the movie. You should read the book. And so, like, she bought it. Okay. And read it. Really enjoyed it. And she says it's nothing like the movie, by the way.
Okay.
Whatever. I mean, that it's always that way.
Yeah.
But so she enjoyed it enough that she read it out loud to her 7th grade class over the course of the last month or something like that. One of the things she does is they, like when they're doing, I don't know, when they're doing work time or something like that, or snack or something, she reads out loud. She has for a long time, and they really enjoy it. And so they read the book. And part of the deal was evidently none of the kids, other than one, had seen the movie, and that had been a long time, so they hadn't seen it. And so last week, kind of think it was the second to last day of school, but last week of school when they're doing a bunch of other stuff. Like she had me like confirm that she could play the movie on her laptop and project it.
Right.
And it was awesome. Totally worked great. Kids had never seen it before.
Cool.
It was really cool. And I love that movie. That movie is awesome. I of course did not see it again at that point, but I might rewatch it just because I can. But
well, you mentioned I did a quick search in the RSS feed. Episode 28.
What? It was
2018. It wasn't your something fun. It was just it was an intro. You talked about watching an assortment of Studio Ghibli movies.
Oh, okay.
So
yes,
it's been around.
I've been a fan for a long time.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, there you go. Not exactly a Christmas movie.
Like Die Hard?
I told you I watched that a couple weeks ago. But yes.
On that note,
that was more a moral imperative because the other person at Thanksgiving hadn't ever seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. Okay.
All right.
All right, my friend.
Have a great Christmas here in the next few days, and a merry holidays. And we'll chat next week.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later, Eric.
Bye.